I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translators Association. That's the special district association responsible for bringing the area free-to-access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station. If there's a news story or event information that you would like to share, you can contact us. The phone number is 970-677-4119. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Friday program for May 15th, 2020. DCTV Daily News. The Journal provided updates on the status of recreation in Cortez. It was reported that Cortez residents will still be able to recreate this summer, although it will look different. With a photo, Erica Alvarez. Tuesday night, the City Council approved a series of recreation-related items, including the closure of the outdoor pool, along with Recreation Division layoffs and rehirings to account for shifting needs in the COVID-19 landscape. The city also reopened the tennis and pickleball courts, although under strict guidelines. The council voted unanimously to close the outdoor municipal pool for the 2020 season, which would save money and deal with uncertain pool operations. Quote, "From recent statewide aquatic Zoom meetings, no clear direction has been given allowing for swimming pool facilities except for lap swimming and one swimmer per lane," said Dean Palmquist, Director of Parks and Recreation, at Tuesday's meeting. Red Cross has yet to give much guidance on swimming lessons, water safety instructors, and lifeguard classes. By closing the pool for the season, the net savings for the city's general fund would be about $105,000 after taking expenditures and lost revenues into account, Palmquist said. Councilors agreed that closing the pool for the 2020 season made sense, both because of the uncertainty of the situation and for savings that might allow the city to avoid further furloughs. Because the city had received Great Outdoors Colorado grant funding for the outdoor pool's renovation in 2011, Palmquist reached out to a GOCO representative. GOCO grant funds usually are allocated with the expectation that a GOCO project operates for 25 years. But in light of the coronavirus pandemic, the representative gave Cortez permission to close the outdoor swimming pool if it was in the city's best interest. The Cortez Recreation Center has been closed since March 16th to comply with the governor's stay-at-home executive order, and Safer at Home continues. Employees were given the option of working for the city on projects such as graffiti removal and park and golf course maintenance and the animal shelter. Quote, "Over half of the staff chose to work and continued to collect a paycheck, and less than half chose not to work and did not collect a paycheck," Palmquist said. Because of the hiring freeze implemented in March, the Golf Course Maintenance Division and Park Maintenance Division have refrained from hiring seasonal employees. Instead, Rec Center and programming staff have been supporting both maintenance divisions. Right now, the city is looking to enact Tier 1 of the Rec Center reopening plan with a target implementation date of May 18th. Under Tier 1, the center would only allow lap swimming and drop-in exercise with cardio equipment, machines, and free weights. With no fitness classes and limited use of the rec center facility, Palmquist asked City Council that 9 lifeguard positions, 1 child watch attendant position, and 10 fitness instructor positions be laid off until those operations resume. Other full-time and part-time positions would remain, including pool managers and lead lifeguards for the competitive pool area for lap swimming. Savings from the layoffs would amount to about $120,000, Palmquist said. On the maintenance side, the Parks and Recreation Department also sought to fill some temporary positions. Staff sought 1.6 full-time equivalent temporary employees to be hired back to the Park Maintenance Division and 1.54 FTE temporary employees for golf course maintenance. Considering that the full number of temporary employees wouldn't be returning to either division, the cost of the request came out to $44,961 for the Parks Division and $85,547 in staff savings, and $41,361 for the golf course, with $40,337 in staff savings. The City Council unanimously approved the layoffs and rehirings, although they did have questions about social distancing at the rec center. Councilor Arlena Yazzie also asked whether laid off employees could be prioritized for the new job opportunities. Quote, "I know that at least for the lifeguard positions and the child watch attendant, those are young adults that are working for the rec center," Yazzie said, "and I think it would be great if we could allow them to keep working." Palmquist replied that for safety reasons, they would have to look at candidates with experience handling the necessary machinery. Quote, "When we talk about the golf course and the park maintenance, there's a lot of safety protocol that has to happen," Palmquist said. "And also you have to be at least 18 years of age to be able to run that equipment." During a workshop before the regular meeting, City Manager John Doherty announced that the tennis and pickleball courts would be reopened with precautions on Wednesday. The courts now will open only for singles play, with just one ball per court for pickleball games and one ball per person for tennis. Players are expected to label a personal ball that only they can touch during a game and to stay 6 feet apart from one another when around the court areas. According to Doherty, volunteer court ambassadors, in quotes, will help city staff monitor the courts throughout the day. And a note that if you are interested in what the Montezuma County Commissioners are discussing with regard to the recent variance rejection letter from the state or any other things they discuss, they live stream their meetings to YouTube, so you can watch them there or through their Facebook page. Or for this May 14th meeting, as the topic is of interest to Dolores County residents, it is being rebroadcast on Channel 32.1 here in Dove Creek at 3 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 53 minutes long. If you would like more of this type of programming on our TV station, please do let me know. And now, let's take a look at our weather. Today, increasing clouds with a high near 71 degrees or more with south-southwest winds just around 10 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 44 degrees with west winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. It might be a nice evening to drive up and down our main street and check in for takeout with some of the few local food establishments who are patiently awaiting the variance or the governor's reopening of the shutdown guideline orders for no inside seating. And wherever you are, some music and a good old-fashioned rain dance and prayers might also be a good idea. Anyway, heading into the weekend for Saturday, it's looking sunny with a high near 75 degrees. Northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour shift west, hopefully just enough to keep the bugs away if you are working or playing outside. Saturday night, partly cloudy and a low around 48 degrees. For Sunday, mostly sunny and even hotter with a high near 80 degrees. Could be a bit more windy with east-southeast winds, 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming southwest in the afternoon, and those winds could gust as high as 25 miles an hour. This weekend is the last time, thanks to Dolores County, for a free limb disposal, the free tree limb disposal at the transfer station. The Sunday night temperatures are looking to be around 49 degrees, mostly clear, and into next week we continue with hot, windy days on Monday, mostly sunny and a high near 82. Monday night, partly cloudy, breezy with a low around 52, and then Tuesday, we may see a slight chance for showers afternoon. Mostly sunny and a high near 78 degrees. It's still breezy. Tuesday night, partly cloudy and a low around 45. And then a cool off for next Wednesday. Sunny with a high near 65, with Wednesday night, partly cloudy and a low around 38. And now, back to the news. Lab equipment for rapid testing of COVID-19 arrived Thursday at Southwest Memorial Hospital, as reported by the Journal. The much-anticipated BD Max Lab Analyzer produces test results in 2 to 4 hours, compared with 2 to 4 days for lab work a plane flights away. This is a big step forward towards managing this disease, said Tony Sudath, CEO of Southwest Health System. The unit came with 240 COVID-19 test kits. Additional kits have been ordered, but hospitals face a nationwide shortage. Because of the nationwide shortage of test kits, community-wide testing is not feasible. But in-house lab work allows local health officials to quickly process suspected samples and target frontline workers, first responders, and patients for testing. Having this expanded capability for testing speeds up the process of identifying positive cases and contact tracing, Sudath said. That way, quarantines can happen quicker and the spread is more controlled. The BD Max Analyzer detects the genetic material of COVID-19 from nose or throat swabs. Let me read that again. The BD Max Analyzer detects the genetic material of COVID-19 from nose or throat swabs, said SHS Lab Director Alan Laird. It can hold 24 samples. The process used to amplify DNA and RNA with the BD Max is extremely sensitive and specific for the target organism, making it much more accurate and less with less of a sample than other tests and methodologies, Laird stated. The specialized unit is capable of detecting numerous communicable diseases, including chlamydia, not a flower, gonorrhea, trichomonas, and various gastrointestinal pathogens, as well as the new coronavirus that causes COVID-19, allegedly. The new rapid testing equipment also benefits elective surgeries, which have resumed at Southwest Memorial and require that patients test negative for COVID-19 prior to the procedure. SHS had been negotiating to purchase the BD Max analyzer since 2019, but the purchase of the $100,000 unit was delayed by the demand for the analyzer this spring. The Southwest Memorial Hospital Foundation raised $65,000 for the unit, and Montezuma County pitched in $36,000. The outpouring of support for Southwest Health System from the community has been amazing, Sudduth said. I cannot express enough how much this support means to SHS and our staff. It is a great feeling to know that the community recognizes our efforts and truly appreciates what the staff are sacrificing to help the community. SHS continues to operate a drive-through testing for flu and COVID-19 for anyone with symptoms. The clinic is at the EMS building on the north side of the campus. It is open Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. with or without a doctor's orders. And a follow-up on the variance request by the Dolores County Commissioners and Department of Health. After submission on Tuesday, the CDPHE came back asking for additional support in the way of the Southwest Memorial Hospital also signing their support of the request. Eventually, by Thursday afternoon, that had been provided, so that we are still, as a county, waiting to hear from the state offices as to them providing our county any exemptions. And of course, you might know that we have no cases still here as of May 15th, 2020 in Dolores County. And for some Colorado state politics, this is an election year, a big one for the president. And in Colorado, there's a heated senatorial contest. And in Dolores County, there's a challenge for one of the two county commissioner positions. We already have mail-in voting in Colorado. So what is hotly an issue from the last presidential election is that of the role of the Electoral College. The Durango Herald reports that in the heat of the 2016 presidential election, Michael Baca, a member of the Electoral College in Colorado, cast his presidential ballot for Republican Ohio Governor John Kasich, even though Democrat Hillary Clinton won the state's popular vote over Donald Trump. Baca's decision and former Secretary of State Wayne Williams' decision to remove Baca from the Electoral College has been disputed all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. The justices will decide whether Colorado has the constitutional authority to remove electoral voters who refuse to vote for the candidate who won the state's popular vote. Baca's attorney, Jason Harrow, and Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser presented their arguments to the Supreme Court on Wednesday via teleconference. Weiser testified that under the Constitution, it is the role of states to determine how to select electoral voters, as well as how to ensure those electors uphold their commitment to vote for a particular candidate. Quote, the Constitution is silent in whether you or not you can have electors representing the popular vote, Weiser said. This, he argued, is up to the state legislatures to determine. The state can also remove and replace electors if they have taken a bribe or don't show up, Weiser testified. In a close presidential election, if electoral voters can choose who they want to elect without regard to the results of the state popular vote, there's a tremendous amount of power that falls to a few individuals who could also be subject to bribes. Quote, it is the role of the states to oversee confidence in our elective system, Weiser argued before the court. This case is all about state authority, and our founders gave the state this authority. There are 32 states that require electors to vote for a pledged candidate, as well as the District of Columbia. But 45 states, as well as the District of Columbia, filed a brief supporting the state of Colorado. A lower court decided the state was right to remove Baca, saying he broke state law. But the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals reversed that decision, saying presidential electors are free agents who can choose whichever candidate they want, raising the question of whether the Colorado law is constitutional. Harrow, on behalf of Baca, said that the requirements for electoral voters in Colorado are too rigid. There are times when electors, quote, must be allowed to vote at their discretion, Harrow said. Electoral voters can pledge to vote for a candidate, but the state, quote, can't cross that line and enforce them, Harrow said. Quote, our quibble is not with the pledges or party control, Harrow said. The Constitution gives Baca the freedom to vote for who he wants to, even if that's a different candidate than chosen by the state's voters. Weiser countered that in the absence of an official removal process for electoral voters, like there is for members of Congress, the duty to institute one falls to the states. The Attorney General said Harrow and Baca did not propose a solution for how to handle or replace bribed or deceased electoral voters in their arguments. The 2016 presidential election had the highest number of, quote, faithless electors, or electoral voters who cast a ballot for a candidate other than who they pledged to vote for, than any other election. Out of 538 electoral voters, 10 voted against their pledges in 2016. 8 of those 10 were Democrats. John Koza, chairman of the organization National Popular Vote and originator of the National Popular Vote legislation, said it happened in 2016 because, quote, electors were frustrated and knew their votes didn't matter. Trump was already ahead in the electoral votes, but in close races like the 2000 presidential race between former President George W. Bush and Democratic nominee Al Gore, electoral voters kept their pledges, Koza said. People have lost track of that, as if there is a crisis here, Koza said in a phone interview with the Durango Herald. Drew Penrose, an expert in faithless electors, has been working to catalog every instance of someone voting for someone other than who they were supposed to represent for the organization Fair Vote. Candidates aren't winning electoral votes, they are winning electoral voters, or human beings with judgment, Penrose said in a phone interview. To be an elector, you have to be picked by the political party, Penrose said. Normally, it's someone working for a candidate's campaign. That is why what Baca did was so rare and the Supreme Court case so consequential. Baca sees himself as an activist on this issue. Penrose said Baca is co-founder of a group called the Hamilton Electors, named after the founding father who argued that people should select electors to exercise independent judgment. Quote, but it's never worked out that way, Penrose said. Some fear the presidential election results could fall into the hands of a few electoral voters, but Penrose also thinks that is unlikely when faithless electors are so rare. Quote, in 2020, parties will be careful about who they choose, Penrose said. There is this fear that electors are just deciding whatever they want, but they are picked by the political parties. In an election as charged as the 2020 presidential election, if an electoral voter were to break ranks and vote for another candidate, they would be, quote, turning themselves into pariahs, Penrose said. The Supreme Court heard only 10 of the 20 cases it was scheduled to hear as a result of COVID-19. Colorado Department of State versus Baca was one of them. And today's High Canyon Country happenings. Saturday here in Dove Creek, there's going to be a yard sale at 420 West 2nd Street, starting at 8 a.m. And if you have some activity that you would like to promote, please do let me know at the station and we'll help spread the word. Tonight, Friday at 6 p.m. in Dove Creek, I've heard there's an impromptu major parking lot that I have been told will be having a DJ mobile music just for fun to lighten up the mood if you are needing to refuel with gas, say for driving up and down Main, or for your body to keep you healthy by purchasing some food to go. Say hello, wave, honk, or just dance by your own vehicle if the mood hits you. Hopefully a taste of what's to come as we pull out of this health disaster phase and move into the next stage of humanity. And in Cortez, this is Jay Fargo's second attempt to have their drive-in, takeout, and tune in with live music from 6 to 8:30 p.m. again next Thursday. That happens in their back parking lot. It will be for food and drinks and live music by Rob Webster Music. They say just pull into your parking space, give them a call at 970-564-0242 to place your order, and they'll bring the food out to you. Feel free to open your tailgate, roll down your windows, or set up a lawn chair. They ask that you please stay in your designated parking space, bring your face coverings, and comply with all current social distancing protocols. Please follow these guidelines so we can continue to bring you this great event opportunity. Spread the news, and we'll see you at Jay Fargo's Family Dining and Microbrewery in Cortez next Thursday, May 21st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. So this is sort of the same thing with the State Line. We'll bring any food you order out to your car, and Superette will do the same. And if the DC Rack House is open, they will do the same as well. And I post up all of these High Canyon Country happenings on our Facebook page, which is DCTV Daily News, where you can also watch the program replay along with the news links and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news there and join in on the conversation. Again, this is your local community TV station. So if you have something to share, contact us, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call 970-677-4119. Thank you for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast Monday through Friday with replays online on our YouTube channel or DCTV Daily News page on Facebook. And if you do like the program, please like and follow us on Facebook and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching and have a great weekend.